Today we're going to be talking about 8 tips for new football players. Now these are going to be 8 different tips for you guys to execute during the season. So tip number 1, understand that you can't fix any major bad habits or any major things during an actual game. If you make a mistake during a live game and you have a coach who coaches you up, receive the coaching, understand what you did wrong, but you need to move on to the next play. You're going to fix all those problems next week during practice and in a film session or film study the following day after the game. So don't get so worked up. You make a mistake, oh crap, I did this wrong, I did that wrong. You're not going to make any major changes during a game. Learn from it, move on, and focus on the next rep, you applying whatever mistake that you made, or you just focusing on whatever your job actually is. Now tip number 2, especially when you are watching film after the game, generally how it goes in high school is you'll have a game on Friday or maybe a game on Thursday or whatever, and then the following day you'll go in as a team and you'll watch the film. What you need to do, especially if you're a new football player, you may not know this, film study is not fun. You guys, especially when you're with your coaching staff, because they're going to ridicule you, they're going to replay the play, they're going to critique every little thing that you do multiple times over and over and over again. So you need to mentally prepare for that. Go into a film study session with a notebook, with a pen, be ready to take some harsh criticism, because that's what life's about, you guys. You can't sit there and not everything's going to be positive. You're going to get some people that are going to critique you and they're going to coach you hard. So mentally prepare for that so you're not just broken down and upset after the fact. They're only coaching you hard to make you better. Take those notes, apply those things the next week during practice so you can move on as quick as possible. Now also guys, something that's important for new football players is to be able to put on size, to be able to gain weight, to be able to absorb hits. So if you guys would like a great protein powder that can help you gain weight, check out that very first link in the description below for our AG Labs Whey Protein Powder. We have 4 flavors, and honestly guys, this is the best tasting protein powder on the market. This is our cookies and cream flavor. We have a cinnamon snickerdoodle flavor, salted caramel frappuccino flavor, and a couple more that you guys can try. So guys, check out that very first link in the description below, and if you use the promo code FIRST25, FIRST25 at checkout, you can get 25% off this whey protein powder to help you gain weight. Now tip number 3, you guys, understand that it is a long season. So if you're not playing right now, let's say you're a backup and it's the first week, you had a position battle in the summer or whatever, and you're not necessarily starting, that's okay, you guys. We have a long season ahead of us, guaranteed probably 8 games. A lot of teams play 10 games. So you guys have 10 different weeks to be able to compete and earn a spot and earn a job, because at the end of the day, you're 1 play away. So guys, don't get discouraged if you're not starting right now. Prepare like the starter, know everything the starter does, and every single week treat it like it's a position battle. Again, you're trying to take his spot, you're trying to take his reps, you're trying to work during scout team, during special teams, and you're trying to get on the field as much as possible to show to your coaches that they could trust you with that starting role. But understand that it is a long season ahead of us. Now tip number 4, especially if you're a new football player, you probably don't understand how much your body hurts after an actual tackle football game, right? So what you need to do is take your recovery seriously after games. What I recommend, let's say you're playing football, let's say you're playing freshman football and you play on a Thursday, and then Friday you have off, you don't have any practice. What you need to do is you need to do something active. I know your body hurts, I know you're probably tired, but you need to do some type of physical activity to get blood flow in your body. I remember when we played in high school, we used to always have something called a flush day, which is where we would do a little bit of cardio. Maybe we would do like, you know, a couple 50-yard sprints, and then we would stretch after to get some blood flow to your body, stretch your muscles because they're probably tight, your neck's probably tight, your back's probably tight, but you need to make sure you take your recovery serious. So that day after the game, do something active, make sure you stretch, and then take the rest of the day completely off. Get off your feet and just truly recover, hydrate, stretch some more if you need to, but make sure that you are taking your recovery seriously so the following week you get back to practice at full speed. Tip number 5, and players who have been playing for a long time don't even do this, prioritize your sleep before the game. And I'm not talking the night before the game, I'm talking the week of the game. So I'm talking on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you need to be getting quality sleep. So get to bed at a reasonable time, you guys. But also 2 things that I could recommend you to help you get deep sleep, because it's not always about the amount of hours that you sleep. A lot of people will say, oh, you need 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and that's great. If you could get that in, fine, but I'm realistic. I know you guys are high school students or middle school students, you have school, you have homework, you have different obligations, so 8 to 10 hours may not be realistic during the school year. However, if you guys can get quality sleep, let's say you sleep 8 hours, but only 1 hour is like quality sleep. They call it REM sleep, like REM, that's like deep sleep. Let's say only 1 hour is quality sleep, but let's say you get 6 hours of sleep, but 4 hours are quality sleep. You're gonna feel like you had a better night's sleep even with sleeping less hours. So 2 things that you can do to get quality sleep that I could recommend that are easy to do for you younger guys. At least 2 hours before you go to bed, don't eat anything. You eat a dinner, let's say at like 6 p.m., and then let's say you go to bed at 8:30. That's a perfect amount of time to let your food digest so your body can just completely shut itself down, blood flow to your brain, and you can sleep properly. Number 2, make sure that at least 1 hour before bed, you don't have any screen time. No TV, no phone, no iPad, no video games, no nothing, because you don't want that blue light affecting your eyes, which in turn will affect your ability to get deep sleep. If you do those 2 things, I promise you guys, and you stack days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're gonna feel refreshed and ready to go for your game on Friday. Now fellas, if you are a quarterback or a wide receiver and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this off season, we are gonna be traveling out to 15 different cities across the country for 2-day long QB and wide receiver training camps. So guys, check out that second link in the description below. Again, the second link below for more information on where we are traveling to and how you can sign up. We are gonna be coming out to San Francisco, Orlando, Florida. Then we're gonna be coming out to Phoenix, Arizona, Charlotte, North Carolina, Austin, Texas, Chicago, Illinois, Seattle, Washington, Las Vegas, Nevada, Newark, New Jersey, Birmingham, Alabama, Houston, Texas, Boston, Massachusetts, Columbus, Ohio, Boise, Idaho, and finishing off our tour in Los Angeles, California. So guys, second link in that description below if you'd like to sign up. Now, tip number 6, you guys, is consume calories during the season. I think a lot of you new football players don't understand that it's hard to maintain your weight during the season. You have school all day, you have lifting after school. Maybe if you do, if you're a middle school player, maybe you don't necessarily have lifting, but you have practice, and you have practice that goes late, you're burning calories. And honestly, guys, a lot of dudes drop weight during the season because they're not consuming enough food. So guys, in the summer, it's easy because you're at home all day, you can make meals all day, you can eat pretty much whenever you want. But during the season, you're at school. You may have meetings at lunch or whatever the case may be, and you don't necessarily get the opportunities to eat as much. So make sure you guys are prioritizing calories. What I recommend, you gotta eat a breakfast before you go to school. I know some of you don't like to eat in the morning, you gotta tough it out. I recommend having snacks in between passing periods at school. You gotta eat a lunch. You need to probably eat a little bit of something right before you go to practice, and then have a full dinner after practice, and maybe incorporate 2 types of protein shakes at some point in the day to make sure you're getting your calorie intake and your protein intake so you don't drop weight. Now, tip number 7 for new football players is drink water throughout the school day and make it a priority, you guys. I am telling you right now, so many athletes don't even realize how dehydrated they are. And when you're dehydrated, your energy levels are low. Our goal is to be able to perform the best way I possibly can as a student athlete. I want to be able to execute in the classroom. Obviously, I know it's not necessarily what this channel is about. It's about football, but also on the field in practice, you want to be able to execute, especially if you're competing for time. So guys, what we have to do is you have to hydrate throughout the day. I recommend trying to drink, if you have like a Hydro Flask, 4 of those a day or a full gallon of water throughout the day. Set goals for yourself. Right on the Hydro Flask or right on the gallon of water. By 12 p.m. I'm gonna drink this, 2 p.m. I'm gonna do this, and set goals for yourself so you can stay on track, so you know that you are properly hydrated, so you have good energy that day, good energy the next morning, and you can get all of your assignments done. Now, tip number 8, make a schedule for yourself so you don't fall behind with your school work. This is something that worked really well for me. Me personally, I'm kind of weird about the whole schedule thing. Like, I map out my day by 30 minutes. Like, all of it mapped out, like even filming this video. Like, hey, from 8 to 8:30, I'm gonna film this video. From 8:30 to 9, I'm gonna film this video. But I picked up that habit back even when I was in high school, because you have a busy day of school, guys. You're there from like 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. You have practice from 2 to maybe like 5 p.m. And then from 5 p.m. after the fact, that's when a lot of guys have their productivity drop because they have no idea what they're doing. Their mind's scrambled. They have this assignment, they have this reading, they have this, they have that. Make a schedule for yourself. You guys, from 5 to 6, I'm doing this. From 6 to 6:30, I'm eating dinner. From 6:30 to 7:30 this, 7:30 to 8:30 this. And if you could just stay on that schedule and map out your day that way, it's easier for you guys to stay on track with your assignments and not fall behind with your schoolwork, which can prevent you from playing on the actual field by being academically ineligible.